Hey, how's it going, everybody? So I wanted to make this Gemstone Legends video to try to help people understand what heroes to ascend when. You end up with a lot of heroes pretty quickly, and it can be difficult to decide who is the most important. And with any hero being able to be ascended to 6 stars, it creates an unprecedented amount of options if you're coming from Empires and Puzzles. So I've done some investigating myself to try to answer this question so that based on where you're at in the game, you can have a little bit of a roadmap in terms of what to focus on when, and that can help simplify some of your hero decisions. And then by the time you get to, step 3 in this progression, you will have a pretty strong roster at that point already, and your needs might be clarified a little bit more at that point for the next set of heroes. So we're going to look at these 5 different areas. I feel pretty confident about the order of these. There's a couple that could be interchangeable and you can decide for yourself. But this is an important progression, and it's a pretty consistent progression regardless of who you are in the game, just based on how the game works and what there is to prioritize. So let's take a look at this and try to help answer that question for you. Which hero should I ascend, when, and why? If you haven't checked out Gemstone Legends yet, come give it a try. It's a fun game. I think you're going to like it. There's a download link and a promo code in the description of this video, along with some instructions for how to get started. And they really take care of you when you join the game. You get a free starter bonus, which would never happen with Empires and Puzzles. There are some beginner events to get you started quicker and give you some more guaranteed epic or even legendary heroes, in addition to some really good equipment or artifact sets right from the start. So they care what you think about the game. They want to make a game that people will like. So come check it out. Claim those free items with the download link and the code in the description of this video, and come play alongside me. All right, see you guys there. Okay, so what is first on the list? First on the list is to develop your farming hero or heroes. So if you don't know what I mean by farming in this game, make sure you go check out the video. It'll be in the description explaining leveling and ascension, and there are some techniques in there on how to efficiently farm in this game. But basically, I won't go into the full detail of that video, so check it out if you haven't seen it. But basically, you have one strong hero that does all the work, and you bring some extra heroes along to benefit from all the XP gained from that battle. So a few key options. Basically the importance of this is it lets you level up your feeder heroes for ascensions, because in this game you don't have to wait on ascension items. You can create your own ascension items by leveling up heroes. So you can take a 3-star, level them up to 5 stars, and use that as an ascension component for another 5-star hero. So you can create your own ascension items, which is pretty incredible. But you need to have a really good farming hero to do that. My preference for this role is Premislav. The reason being, he does AoE damage. Mana choke is a little bit, it's not the best ailment for farming, but it can, basically it means that they have to match more gemstones to charge up their heroes on defense. So that is helpful, but he hits everyone. The key is in his passive ability, which is recovers 5% HP whenever he kills an enemy, so he's got a healing component built into that. But most importantly, 20% chance to use his special ability whenever taking damage. So whether they're attacking with gemstones or with their special abilities, he has a chance to hit back and then heal as a result of it. And this can be leveled up to a 30% chance if you use some epic tomes or other duplicate heroes from this family. I don't know that I would go that far right away, because I think he's good enough as is, but just keep in mind it's another option if you want to start farming harder and harder levels. He's great. You can fuse him in the altar. If you go into fusions here, this shows you the recipe. You need these 4 heroes that are shown along the top. And you can fuse each of those heroes from a separate recipe below. So you can create this hero. He starts at 4 stars. I've ascended mine to 6, and that was the first 6-star ascension that I made, and it's really important. A couple other options that work pretty well are Ultan, which can be farmed. You can like gain him just from playing on, I forget where it is exactly. One of the provinces, as you're clicking on it, will show you that he is one of the possible drops. And he's great because he does defense down, so his follow-up hits will be even stronger. He hits with his HP as the stat that matters for the amount of damage that he does, and you can level him up with much more abundant duplicates from his family because he's only a rare hero to give defense down for 3 turns. So he's a great hero for this as well. I haven't been using him for that role because I really like Premislav's passive ability. And then one other option is a hero that they give you when you start the game, Elias, whose damage is quite good, and he can be used as a farming hero as well. Just keep in mind whatever color you're using. For example, if you're using blue, like for Ultan or Elias, you're going to want to farm a stage that has red enemies. The color advantage is really important in this game. So typically the first stage of a particular province, or I'm not sure what they call it in this game, will have all enemies of one color. As you get further on, you get into the boss enemies, and usually the colors of the others are split. So you'll just want to look at stage 1 until you can find red, and he can be good there too, but you'll need to, if you want to farm on hell mode, you'll definitely need to take him to 6 stars probably. So it's up to you. If you want to choose one of those 3, you can decide which one seems like the most important hero for your long-term gameplay, and that is going to be what you want to prioritize first. The last thing I'll mention is consider getting Gemstone Prime, which is this right here, because it gives you a 20% boost to hero XP from battles, more coins collected, faster energy regeneration, and the most important part, the extra 50 multi-battles per day, which makes the farming with your farming hero a lot more efficient because you can just set up your phone, walk away, do your work, do whatever you have to work on, and all 65 battles will play out if you have enough energy. And if you have an XP boost active at the same time, which I highly recommend doing, which you can claim from your inbox when you have them available, just make sure you only claim 1 at a time. Leave the rest in your inbox. That's your inventory for those, and if you use them all, then you'll end up stacking them, which isn't good. But that'll give you double the XP from those battles, and you can level up a lot of fodder really quickly. So make sure you check out the leveling video for more details there, and let's look at the second thing. So that would be the first thing you want to prioritize, choosing your farming hero. I would recommend picking one of those 3. One other that can work well is, where is he? Yabe. And what's great about him is he's got a 20% chance to use his special ability twice. So he's kind of got that Premislav bonus as well. There's no healing component there, so you'll want to make sure he's built to survive while also balancing out, having good damage. And then he inflicts vulnerability, which means his follow-up attacks will be stronger if that ailment is still active. So next on the list is the Rift. A really important aspect of this game is the Rift, or the Rifts, if you want to think of it that way. There are 2 of them now. Looks like there'll be a 3rd one coming soon. I'm not sure when that's happening. But the first one is it's the Goliath is the main boss here. So you'll hear people refer to this as G and then the number. So this one would be G20, Goliath 20. And then you have the Phoenix Rift, which people would refer to as P and then whatever. So P20. So the next things you want to focus on once you have your farming hero down is G20 and P20. P20 is much harder, the Phoenix Rift. G20 is a little bit easier, but still the last stage is quite hard. But this is where you get artifacts and equipment, which are an extremely important part of this game that can more than double certain hero stats. And really, the equipment is what makes the hero what it is, and you get to choose how you want to spec that hero. There is an auto-equip system that can make that easier for you, but there's a lot of improvement to a hero that can happen with the artifacts. So if you look at the bottom, you can see as we go back earlier, there's that little chest with a question mark, and it says 2 to 3 star. If we jump ahead, we're now 4 to 6 star, 4 to 6 star, 4 to 6 star, 5 to 6 star, and 5 to 6 star. So the 20th level by far has the highest chance of 6-star artifacts, which is really important for leveling up your roster. This is just important as the heroes. So you want to have a team where you can auto farm G20 here, because that is going to be the highest chance of gaining 6-star artifacts in the game, aside from fighting 6-star raid bosses, which is also important if you can find a strong enough guild. So the chance of getting a 6-star artifact, we don't know the exact numbers, but it is much higher on 20 than 19. So it is to your advantage to work towards this. And here we have a blue boss. So you're going to want to put together a strong green team to face this blue boss. And you can see the stats here are pretty amazing. 140,000 HP, speed of 304, pretty high attack. The defense is a little bit low. So you want to put together a team for this. I'm still working on this, but I just ascended Zoe here to 6 stars because she is a great green hero that gives defense down. So I'm still trying to piece together what the rest of the team is going to be like. I've been doing some experimenting here. But this is the thing I'm prioritizing now. I have my farm down solid, and now I need to get to the point where I have a team that can easily auto farm, and I think it might mean sending another hero to 6 stars, another green hero to 6 stars to be able to do this. So the reason why we're talking about this is because if you're coming from Empires and Puzzles, in that game you just kind of level up who you like and they work in most aspects of the game, or maybe you prioritize one Titan hero that you can use on multiple Titans. This game is different enough that I wanted to cover what the flow of heroes is that you should choose, because there are key milestones in this game. The second of which, the one that we're discussing now, is this Goliath Rift, and that is where I'm at now, trying to put together a good team for this. So it's going to want to be greens. You're going to want to have at least probably 2 healers, honestly, and that's where I'm experimenting with which healers do I use. You can't use red heroes here because they're going to get just demolished by the Goliath, who will target them. So you want to have as many greens as possible. And I can't figure out what that balance is. Sometimes having more hitters means you need less healers because the battle is over faster. And sometimes the enemy is difficult enough that you need multiple healers just to stay alive. So still trying to figure this out, but this is where I'm at currently. And then let's look at the next step. After you have your Goliath team down solid, you're farming, you're getting great artifacts out of here. And this is where I'd recommend farming if you don't have XP boost. If you do have an XP boost active, then level up your fodder, because the XP gain from the Rift is much less than it is from the regular world map. So once you have that green team down, the next thing you're going to focus on, which is item 3 on this list, is P20. And this is really tough. You've got a red enemy here. You can see the HP is much lower than the Goliath, but the attack is crazy high. And the speed is even higher, and this thing regenerates once after you kill it and comes back. It stacks a lot of burn damage really quickly, so you need, at least 1 immunity hero, if not 2 immunity heroes. A hero like Guinevere can really help because she removes 1 burn status from everyone each turn. You also have, if we go to the lexicon here, Benedict, who heals a good amount, 24% is pretty good in this game, and removes 1 negative status, so he's kind of like a Guinevere, so you can use him or multiple versions of him. And then you're going to want to have good blue heroes, so Ultan will be key. Torbjorn is really important as well. I think he has the single highest damage for an individual hit in the entire game. So he can be an absolute key on that team as well, especially following Ultan with the defense down. But point being, work on these things one at a time. Once you've got your Goliath team down, you can farm there reasonably well. I think the chances of getting a 6-star will be even better from the Phoenix Rift, because it is a more challenging rift. So it's still 5-star through 6-star, but I think I would expect we'd see the 6-star chance to be even higher. And if we look at this view back here, you get different sets from either place. So if you really need stuff from one particular set over another, then that's the place you should probably farm. But do these one and then the other. Maybe you can try to think about heroes that will help for both, like Guinevere. who you can do in the fusion. There's also a video in the description of this video showing the fusion angle there, if you don't know what I mean by that. I use Guinevere on both these teams, but I'm working on my greens now, so I can do this level well enough. Next, like I said, will be the Phoenix. Focus on blues. Read the stuff about the boss here. So a lot of healing, because 12.5% of targets max HP is just coming straight out of your health. So each hit is more than 10% of your health going away, so you're going to need to be healing a lot. 100% chance to inflict burn on all enemies for 3 turns. That can stack up really quickly because you can have multiple burn ailments on you at the same time. And then immune to stun, sleep, freeze, and silence. Receives 50% less damage from bleeding, poison, burn, and assassin's mark, so ailments aren't the way to go. You want to have some hard hitters. And then upon death, he resurrects with 50% HP and uses his special ability. And then deals 15% more damage for every burn status affecting enemy. So that quickly becomes exponential damage on you if you're not clearing those effects. So that's something I've yet to work towards, but just keep in mind this progression. And then let's get into item 4 on this list. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask those as they come up. And I'll try to get to those in the comment section down below. But this is a long-term trajectory. This is not something you should be doing within, just a few months or something. This is like what you're developing towards in the game. And then we'll talk about what would be coming next. And also, you're doing kind of all these things simultaneously. This just gives you priority. If you're looking to ascend a hero to 6 stars, who should you choose? Go with this order of priority here that I'm demonstrating. The last 2 things that we're going to talk about are somewhat interchangeable depending on what your preference is, but I'll explain my preference and why this might be unique to my own situation, but you can decide for yourself after I kind of explain where I'm coming from. So the 2 are going to be develop your arena heroes / team, and also develop your raid boss heroes and teams. So the arena is a place where you can earn medals, which are these things underneath the little flashing thing up here. And those are key for the cabinet bonuses that we've talked about. So if we go into cabinet, you can give just passive stat boosts to your heroes by color in all these different stats. So I did a video about this as well, so you can learn about what to prioritize here and how this whole system works. But having a good team here is really helpful. And I pretty much raid with the same team. I found one team that works well for me. So that team is the one that you can see down below. I've got Guinevere for healing, Aurora for healing and attack boost, Alexander for taunt, Maharold for really high tile damage, and then Gemstone for like a sniper who has the chance of doubling up. And you can see that we talked about before. Torbjorn, 2 of them at 60. What a coincidence. He's a really hard hitter. So yeah, you don't have to have a huge variety of heroes here just to make this work, but having at least one good team that you can reliably raid with. And you can see there are plenty of weak teams that pop up, especially after a new raid cycle begins and you're still working your way up through the ranks again. So you can burn through those pretty easily just to get your medals and start boosting your ranking up. But you want to have a good team. Defense doesn't matter so much. The reason why it would matter is when this, you can see up here by that flashing thing, 5 days, 19 hours, the next cycle ends then. Technically, you want to be the highest rank possible because at the end of it, you earn prizes based on your ranking. So the higher your ranking in these arenas, like bronze 2, bronze 1, silver 1, gold 2, any of those things, the higher your ranking, the more medals you get as a prize. And medals are really important for the cabinet bonuses. So you definitely don't want to ignore the arena while you're working on your G20 and P20 teams. You're going to want to use your arena battles every day because these medals are pretty easy to get in most cases and very important. But I wouldn't level up a hero that's just going to be good in the arena if they're not serving you on the rifts, because the rifts are arguably more important and more specialized because you really need the right team to get those artifacts whereas the arena, you don't really need the right perfect team to do that. The other areas are the raid boss. I don't want to cover this too much in detail yet because this is in the process of changing right now, and so we don't know exactly how things are going to shake out and what heroes are going to be most important. At the moment, stun heroes are the most important, but I think they saw that becoming a little bit more dominant than they had hoped to see, and so they're going to change this. So I'll do a video in the future when this is changed, talking about what strategies are most important for the raid boss, but till then we'll have to wait on that. But the raid boss is another important part of the game, which is in the guild tab down there. Hit raid boss, and you have the boss you're fighting against. This is a great way to gain artifacts and potions, and to contribute with the guild that you're in to a common goal. So you can decide which of those feels more important to you. If you're in a good group, you'll find the raid boss that's equivalent to your power as a guild, and you guys will take him out. The arena, you're a little bit more on your own, which is why I prioritize that higher. And you're gaining medals, which are just for passive stat boost to all your heroes, so super important. So yeah, that's kind of the order I would think in. To recap, develop your farming hero or heroes. At least have one. You don't necessarily need multiples. I just tend to farm on the same place. You could if you want to, but I would say pick one. Premislav is a good one, the ones we talked about. Pick one of those and use that for your farming. Next is to build your G20 team with green heroes and some other key heroes. After that, P20 team, which is going to be a little bit harder. Heroes like Benedict and Richard is a healer from the same family that gives you immunity, which is like ailment protection. Tessix is another, but he is he works well for the Phoenix because level 20 is a red Phoenix, so you won't have to worry about a red hero being targeted by the red Phoenix. Guinevere is also great. Next up would be your arena teams and your raid boss teams. Like we said, for arena, you don't need a huge amount of versatility there. You just want to find at least one strong team and try to collect as many medals as you can. If you do want to be able to beat any tough team that you come across, then you will need more specialized teams and more specialized heroes. It's totally up to you if you want to prioritize that first. I think you will harm your long-term progress if you do, because you won't be gaining as many artifacts, and so the heroes that you will be ascending won't be as strong. So artifacts can make a mediocre hero exceptional, and an exceptional hero even better. So artifacts are extremely important. And then the raid boss is the other part. Since we don't know where that's going to land yet, I would prioritize the arena slightly higher after you have those other two things taken care of. But if you're a new player, steps 1 through 3 will keep you busy for quite a while, like they have for me. So yeah, let me just take a second to think if I have any final thoughts that I want to add here. Before I do that, if you haven't checked out Gemstone Legends yet, like I mentioned earlier, there's a download link and a promo code in the description of this video. Click on the download link, install the game, play through the tutorial, which should take you about 15 minutes maybe, and then enter the code #Spock_2021 hashtag in the global chat at the bottom of the screen. That will give you a nice starter bonus with a guaranteed epic healer, some gold scrolls, some gems, and some coins to get you started. You'll also have those beginner events that I mentioned early on, which will give you at least 2 more guaranteed epic heroes, if not a legendary as well, and a full set of legendary caster artifacts, which is a set that you can only gain from fighting the raid boss, so it's a very nice boost to have. So check it out alongside me. I'm really having a lot of fun playing it. I'm going on 4 months now, I think, of daily play. So let me know what you guys think of it. Give me a second here. I want to just see if I have any final wrap-up thoughts for you, and then that'll be it for the video. So I think that's about it. If you haven't checked out my other Gemstone Legends videos, I think this playlist that you're in right now should autoplay to the next video, but there's also some links in the description if you want to target certain topics. My goal with these videos is to try to simplify learning the game as much as possible, because it is a deep game. They wanted it to be somewhat easy to learn, but very difficult to master. because that keeps it interesting for a while, which I think is a good strategy to take. So I'm trying to simplify this even further from the roadblocks that I hit to try to make that easier on you guys as well. So check out those videos in the description. Check out the game with me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. It really helps out. If you want to see more of these videos, consider subscribing as well. It's another free way to support the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.